Today is the Manchester derby, guys. It's first v second in the Premier League and is probably our biggest game since being in charge of the club. Let's get into it and see how we do.
My retirement doesn't mean the end.
Welcome back, guys, to Taming the Devils. Now here with episode 7 of our series. Now, before we get going, if you missed our last episode where we got well and truly screwed over by VAR when we took part in the Premier League match with Chelsea and Champions League group stage match with Inter Milan, I would highly recommend going back and watching it. There'll be a link right above me for you to click on. But since then, guys, we have been playing very well. Now, before we do get into the video itself, guys, if you do enjoy today's episode, please do chuck a like on the video. It massively does help the channel out. And of course, if you're looking forward to seeing any more of the series here with Manchester United, any more of my how-to videos, I still do have a few more of the tutorials planned yet for FM21, and any more FM21 experiments, the most recent of which, the 50 years into the future video, came out on the weekend. There'll be a link above me for you to click on if you want to have a look at that experiment. Then do make sure to hit that subscribe button, guys, and ring that notification bell so you'll be notified when any of my content here on YouTube goes live. Now, though, since last episode, as I say, we have been playing very well. Of course, we disappointingly lost against Inter Milan in the Champions League group stage, which meant we needed to make sure we could avoid defeat in our game against Zenit. We thankfully managed to do that. I'll come to that match in a second. After the Inter game, we played Everton at home in the Premier League, and the 3-2 result, it makes Everton look a lot better than what they actually were. We were 3-1 up after 60 minutes, and then we conceded quite late on. Everton had very few chances. They were just quite clinical with the ones that they did. We played very well. We had goals from Martial and Rashford. The two of them have been scoring goals for fun. You'll notice their names a lot on the scorer list, as the changes in tactics on, especially playing two up top, playing more counter-attacking, has worked wonders for the pair of them. After we played Everton, we then took on Zenit St. Petersburg in the Champions League, and we did get the job done over them. We won 1-0. It could have been about 5. We just couldn't put our chance in the back of the net. And in there, we only needed a draw, and we beat them, and we played very well. As a result from that, guys, we have had our Champions League draw. It literally just happened a day before I started recording, and we have been drawn against Atletico Madrid. We were a second seed because we finished second in the group behind Inter Milan. So we had a very tough draw, and Atletico Madrid was one of the most difficult games we could get, and we've been drawn against them, and I don't reckon we'll get past them, if I'm totally honest, but we'll have to wait and see. Nonetheless, after we played that game with Zenit, we took on West Brom most recently in the league. We beat them 2-0, really comfortable. It could again have been a lot more. Martial with a brace, and we're looking very good. In the Premier League, we are still top of the league. Man City are still 2 points behind us, and they are the first game and by far the most important game of this episode. After the Man City game, we also take on bottom of the league, Southampton, as well. We are at home for the Man City game, and in terms of how we are lining up, guys, we are going with our 5 at the back formation. I feel based on how Pep's Man City play, it makes much more sense for us to try and play a counter-attacking style. We have to make sure we don't lose this, otherwise City will leapfrog us in the table. We're going with De Gea in net, Maguire, Bailly and Umtiti as the back 3, who are kind of becoming my main set of 3-man defenders. I'm really liking how they work in that team. It's then Wan-Bissaka at right back. I was very tempted, based on his recent performances, to pick James Tavernier, but I just felt having Wan-Bissaka would make us a bit more solid at the back. It's then Telles at left back, Kessie and Pogba in the midfield. I very nearly picked McTominay, but I went with Kessie instead. Bruno Fernandes in attack midfield, and then Rashford and Martial both starting up front. We are very nearly back having Greenwood in the team. He played about 60 minutes of the West Brom game. I don't want to risk him here because of the formation we're playing and so on, but we will hopefully see him back very soon. Let's get into this game here with City, though, and see how we do in the first match of our episode. In terms of how City are lining up, let's see how Pep's men are playing. It's Ederson in net, then Walker, Diaz, Laporte and Mendy at the back, so playing a 4-man defence. Fernandinho most likely in a DM role with Gundogan and Foden, interestingly. No De Bruyne. I wonder if De Bruyne is injured. There's also no Bernardo Silva. So is it injury for both of them? Quite possibly. Mahrez then at right wing, Sterling then on left wing, and Sergio Aguero up front. So still a very, very strong team. But interesting that arguably their 2 best central midfielders aren't available. I'm going to go to lads. I'm going to say pump fist. I'm going to say let's give the fans something to cheer today. Of course, a local derby. We need to make sure we do not lose this game. I'll just say to attackers, I have faith in them. Most of the players are on side. We're walking out here at Old Trafford for what has to be really the biggest game of FM21 that I have played as of yet in any of my saves. This is a huge, huge game, first v second, and could have a lot of implications because at the moment City are on something like a 14-game unbeaten run. They are playing disgustingly well. I don't think they've lost a game at home all season as well so far. Of course, they are away here, so maybe that will play into our hands. An early highlight here, 20 minutes in. Pogba's done well. Can we counter-attack? Martial's lumped it up. Sadly, Rashford is not getting on into that. Laporta with a very decent clearance there. And it looks like Pep's men are going to try and build from the back. Unsurprisingly, Foden there to Sterling. Sterling's lost the ball though. Decent bit of defending there. De Gea's lumped it up and we are never getting on that. I don't quite know what De Gea was doing there. I tell him to play out to the defender, so I'm not quite sure why he did that. Great little 1-2 there from Bruno and Martial. Come on, Anthony Martial. Come on. Is it a goal? Is it Cannon? Indeed it is. Martial chips Ederson in net. His 13th of the season. I think it's about his 8th goal in the month of December. The man is absolutely on fire at the moment. He really is. Him and Rashford, as I've already said, are playing wonderfully and a very, very nice little dinked goal. Of course, he tried so many chips up against Arsenal in 2 episodes ago and he's finally scored one. It's wonderful to see. 1-0 up with our first shot on target. I will certainly take that. I mean, to be honest, guys, I will happily just go all the way through now to the end of the match and we'll just take a 1-0. I do not care. But it looks like there's a highlight here for Man City stopping the ball at least. Is it actually going to be their chance or will it be for us? I have found generally when teams try and play a possession type of tactic, it works into our hands really when we play far at the back. But where we got quite lucky because Aguero then, he got on the end of that cross and thankfully it hit, I think, by, I'm not sure. And, oh no, Paul Pogba has just given away a pen and that is definitely in the area. If this somehow gets overturned by VAR, we are so lucky, but I don't think it will. VAR checking the pen and they haven't given it. Wow. Well, after last episode where I said I hated VAR, I now love VAR. Wonderful. Let's keep it in the game. It's brilliant. Deary me. That is never, ever not a pen. That was inside the box more than the Inter Milan one in the last episode. I don't know how we've gotten away with that. Nonetheless, I'm going to say to the lads not to get complacent out there. Most of them all agree. Let's go straight back out. I'm not going to change anything because other than that penalty appeal, there hasn't really been much to show from really either team, to be honest. We're really keeping City out. But Martial's kind of been played through. He's done brilliant there. Martial, it's 2-0. A fantastic solo effort there from Anthony Martial. Honestly, the boy is on fire. He is just so good as that advanced forward. He really is. Gets the ball here. Great bit of control. It looks like he's got probably too much work to do, but completely does Laporta or Diaz. I'm not sure which one it is. Let's just double check. It is Laporta. Completely does with his pace. Does a little turn and just gets an easy goal there to make it 2-0. Only our second shot on target and we have scored both goals. We have an XG of 0.56 and we are 2-0 up. Fantastic stuff on the lads. I'm reckoning I will probably take off Frank Kessie in a moment. He's not having a brilliant game. And to be honest, so is Wan-Bissaka. So I'm going to make that double change. Wan-Bissaka come off for James Tavernier and Frank Kessie can come off from Scott McTominay. I will make McTominay a ball-winning midfielder on support though, rather than a box-to-box. Bring those two lads on. They're kind of straight swaps and see if it makes any difference. There's a highlight here though. Tavernier now to McTominay. It's worth noting, we win this game, guys, but I think we'll be 5 points clear at the top of the table. It's pretty nutty how well we've started in the league. It's a shame in Europe we've been as poor as we have, but nonetheless, at least in the league, I am way more focused than in Europe. Maguire with the ball there to McTominay. Come on. Is it going to be another highlight for us? If it is, it'll be fantastic. Tellez here on the left. Come on, get it in the box. Pogba now. Bruno. Pogba. Bruno again, McTominay. We're keeping the ball quite nicely, which considering the way I've got the lads set up to play, I'm a bit surprised by. But nonetheless, Tavernier. Good ball to Rashford. It's got to be 3. It's 3-0 in the Manchester derby. Get in there. Great ball by Tavernier. He's only been on a pitch for about 4 minutes and he's got an assist already. And a brilliant run from Rashford. Great finish as well. Keeps his composure. Fantastic stuff. Really, really good from the lads. Realistically, it should be game over, but I have had games in FM21 already which have come back in much smaller periods of time where we scored 3 goals or conceded a lot of goals. So I'm not going to kind of put anything to bed. Hang on, Rashford though. It's 4-0. We are 4-0 up against Manchester City. Rashford with a chipped goal as well. Fantastic performance. Considering how poor we were really in the previous episode when we played Inter Milan, and then we go against like Man City, we just scored 4 goals. We look fantastic, but yet in certain games we just can't seem to score, and yet in this one we can do. I guess it helps the way Man City play. The fact we're playing this counter-attacking style, it really plays into our hands, as I've already mentioned, but dearie me, we look fantastic. Don't concede here, guys. Don't lose the clean sheet. I mean, obviously, if that pen had been given in the first half, it could be an entirely different story. But hang on, it's not going to be 5. It's not going to be a Martial hat-trick, is it? Martial, oh, he was trying to be too clever there. He tried to chip Edison again. If he just went for it normally, he well could have got himself a hat-trick. But nonetheless, let's get Bruno Fernandes off. Let's get Donny van der Beek on. We'll just give Bruno a rest for the last kind of 10 minutes here because he's basically been knackered every single game because there's so many games in December. So we do need to try and give him a rest where we can do. But even so, I am so impressed with the lads. I mean, there's a little flip there for Martial, but he's never getting that in there. To be honest, if we just end it here at 4-0, I'll be very, very pleased with that. I'm going to put on actually a bit of time wasting now. We'll say go full time wasting and we'll take off the overlaps on both the wing backs and so on. Just to try and see the rest of the game out. And there's 4 minutes added time. It looks like it's just going to go all the way through. We have won this 4-0 with 5 shots on target with an XG of 1.42. I don't know how we've managed it. I really don't. But my oh my, do I absolutely love it against arch rivals Manchester City. I'm going to do outstretched arms. I'm going to say a good win, boys. Well done. Unbelievable from us. It keeps us in first place. We're now 4 points clear of now second place Liverpool. They've overtaken Man City after that defeat. And that is fantastic. We haven't played Liverpool yet, though, in the league. So it'll be interesting what happens when we come up against them. Of course, we still have one more game left in this episode, and it is against bottom of the league, Southampton, which inevitably means after that performance, we'll probably lose. But even so, I will see you at that match, guys, in a few seconds. We are now here, guys, ready for our second match of the episode, this time away at Southampton, who are rock bottom of the Premier League. And because of the fact they are struggling so bad, I have decided to change up the formation ever so slightly. We're going with the 4-2-3-1, the more possession-based tactic. Of course, with it being a smaller side, it makes sense for us to go like this. It's going to be De Gea in net with Tavernier at right back, Maguire and Umtiti, and then Telles. Of course, it's only 4 men at the back with this formation. It's then Pogba and Kessie in the midfield, with Kessie playing a ball-winning midfielder on defend. I would play McTominay, but he's suspended, so I can't. It's then Greenwood is going to be starting as the right winger, which is going to be very nice to see him play here in this episode. Of course, he hasn't played for about 2 episodes since he picked up that injury. Then Bruno Fernandes in attacking midfield. It's then Martial currently on the left with Rashford up front. But I may change that. In fact, I'll tell you what, I am going to change that while I'm looking at it now. We'll put Martial up front and Rashford on the left. That's how we're going to line up. So let's get into this game and hopefully get the second win of the match. It's been a while in the series so far since we've had 2 wins on episode. We've got Southampton, who are now managed by Michael Laudrup. Hasenhüttl got the sack with them being rock bottom of the league. But let's get into it and see how we do. I'm going to say very much point the finger, be assertive with the lads and say we've got to go out there and carry straight on from where we finished up last time. Most of the players seem okay with that. But here we are in our zebra kit, the away kit, the kit I cannot stand for Manchester United. It looks like an old-fashioned Britain prisoner's uniform. It really does. It's a horrible looking kit. But we are in it nonetheless. We are away at St Mary's. So hopefully we can get the job done here. Of course, we win this. We keep at least our 4-point lead over second place Liverpool. And if we lose, we could see that gap narrow to 1 point. Martial here. Lovely ball through to Rashford. And how has that not gone in? He smashed it off the post because of the fact the goal physics, kind of the net shook. I thought it had gone in. Sadly, it didn't. It smashed off the post, and we are not 1-0 up as of yet. Very, very disappointingly, but a very, very good early sign there for Marcus Rashford. Considering how on form Rashford and Martial have been, I just expected that to be a goal. That's a mistake there, though. Is Martial going to get there first? He's not. I thought after that Bednarek mistake from the centre-back, I thought we had a chance of getting Martial in behind, but sadly we did not. Hang on, a mistake there though. Bruno's intercepted. Now Rashford is here on the left. Decent amount of space for Rashford. That is dreadful, mate. Taking it on his weaker left foot was a very, very bad decision. He should have tried to cut inside on his right. Very, very poor from Marcus Rashford. One thing to note, guys, if you are interested in any live streams at all, I am still over on Twitch doing my Norwich City save. We are currently in the... hang on, let's see what happens here. De Gea's claimed well. We are currently in the January transfer window, and we've actually just signed Eric Lamela on loan in the Championship. So if you are interested in joining for a stream, there should be one tonight when this episode goes out. Then do follow the link in the pinned comment and in the description. Hang on, Greenwood though, just over. But say do follow the link in the pinned comment and in the description, and you'll be able to go and drop a follow over to the Twitch channel and so on, and be notified whenever I go live over there with the Norwich City save. We're here at half time now. It is 0-0, a very poor first half from us, if I'm totally honest. And I'm going to actually say to them, I'm not happy with how we've been. I'm not going to change anything up just yet, because of course we had that Rashford chance. We have looked the most threatening of the two sides. But if things don't change by about the 60th minute, we'll go to a bit more of a higher tempo and be a little bit more direct and so on against Southampton here. Tellez, though, poor attempted cross. And is it going to be a Southampton counter-attack? We need to be careful here. Okay, Kessie's done well, got the ball back. So that's good to see from him. Pogba now on the ball. Come on, Paul. What are you going to do? He's got it out to Greenwood. Decent ball there. Greenwood's gone back, though, to Tavernier. Come on, let's be a bit more offensive here. Come on, let's go for this a bit more. Pogba now to Tavernier. Good, keeping the ball. Decent ball there. Rashford's controlled it well. Great ball across. Greenwood. Rashford. Oh, Martial even was about to say. Greenwood with very nearly his first goal back since returning from injury. He hits the post as well. We've hit the post twice in this game now. And I am going to make a tactical change. We're going to go to our more 4-3-3, but I'm going to push Bruno up still and keep us in the 4-2-3-1. But we're going to play in the same manner that this formation plays as. And I'm going to get Kessie playing as a box-to-box as well. So we'll play like this, and fingers crossed it can help us out. I'm also going to say to Tellez to go more attacking as well, and we will also play more attacking too. So we'll make those changes. This formation is a bit more of a pass into space, a bit more direct, a bit higher tempo type of tactic. So hopefully it makes a difference. Although currently we've seen absolutely nothing since making that change. And if we haven't seen anything by the 80th minute, I'm going to make probably a triple change. Indeed, we haven't. So let's make those changes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off Greenwood because he is struggling. We'll get Correa onto the pitch. I'm also going to bring on Van der Beek for Kessie. And the other change I'm going to make is I'm going to take off Martial for Cavani because of the fact that Martial, we haven't seen enough, and we'll make Cavani that more poacher type role. And if we don't see anything, I'll push Rashford up front as well. If we drop points here, considering how many times we've hit the woodwork already, this will be so frustrating. I'm going to go very attacking, and I'm going to shout demand more to the lads. But seriously, we just stuck 4 goals past Man City. We now come up against bottom of the league, Southampton. It honestly looks like we're going to drop points, and indeed we are. What a joke. Honestly, what the hell have we done there? So poor. I'm going to throw the ball bottom. I actually am. We're going to say it wasn't good enough, and most of the players aren't happy. I don't care. That was a joke. They are bottom of the league. We put 4 past Man City, and we can't put a goal past Southampton. I mean, Liverpool and City still have to play, so currently we could get lucky, but that is atrocious from us. Let's, though, have a look at our schedule and see what we're going to come back for next episode, guys. So if we go into here, of course, we're approaching the January transfer window. And I think what we will do is we'll do a little bit of a different type of episode in terms of the fact, rather than coming back for just 2 league games, we'll come back for the FA Cup third round. We've got Swansea, so it should be a relatively easy tie. But we haven't seen anything in the FA Cup yet in FM21. So we'll come back for that third round game away at Swansea. And we'll also come back for a relatively tough match against 6th placed Everton away, the team that we just about beat 3-2. So that's what we'll be doing next episode, guys. Overall though guys, that just about wraps up this episode today. I really hope you have enjoyed what you've seen from us in this episode. Of course, we had a fantastic performance with Man City, which I can't believe we won 4-0. And then somehow we then followed that up with a 0-0 draw away at bottom of the league, Southampton. Just a complete example of how we can be so fantastic and then so inconsistent at the same time. Very frustrating, but at least we're still currently top of the league going into the January transfer window. And of course, as I've already mentioned, speaking of that transfer window, we will maybe see some transfers by next episode. I have 1 or 2 plans in mind for some players. So of course, if we do bring anyone in by next time, I will of course show them to you. But guys, I really hope you have enjoyed this episode here today. If you have, please do chuck a like on it. It massively does help the channel out. And of course, if you're looking forward to seeing any more of the series or any more of my FM21 content, such as my FM experiments, then do make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you'll be notified when any of my content here on YouTube goes live. But guys, that wraps this all up, so thank you very much for watching today, and I'll see you again next time.